An early start.
Duly saluted. I hope you had something on him. Let's check feature TAB results, and the daily double for 1 Cavalry and 2 Big Band returned $15.60. The quadrella for the combination of 6, 1, 5 and 2 produced a dividend of $2,095.65, with today's quad extra numbers of 1, 5, 2 and 2. A nice handsome dividend just prior to Christmas of $3,338.35. Did you have any of it?
Not a skerrick, not a skerrick. Thank you, Robert. After the break...
Residents to worry. A change in wind direction means the fire is nearly under control. The CFA say the fire was caused by school children on holidays playing with matches, and remind parents to emphasise to children the need for...
Danielle Jeffs was the lucky winner, but as Bridget Duclos reports, she won't give up her job for love nor money.
Christmas is a time for giving and receiving, and today 15-year-old Danielle Jeffs received a Christmas present she won't soon forget. Unknown to Danielle, her mother had entered her in the Billy Guyot's prize draw, and she got the shock of her life to find she was the winner of $25,000 worth of surprises.
I don't really believe it yet. It hasn't, well, getting the car and the hamper have kind of made it true, but not really.
Any other teenager would take the prizes and run, no longer needing a part-time job. But Danielle wants to keep working in her father's panel-beating auto shop in the hope she'll understand more about cars by the time she's old enough to drive. Bridget Duclos, Eyewitness News.
Well, Melbourne's rail commuters may not have had much to smile about over the past 3 weeks, but today a special train driver brought a touch of Christmas cheer to passengers on the Ferntree Gully line. Jennifer Hansen has the story.
Due to the lack of snow in Melbourne, it's a bit tricky for Santa to get about with his reindeer. But undeterred, this particular Father Christmas decided he'd still try to bring city folk some festive cheer by train. Starting from the Ferntree Gully station through to the city, he surprised bored commuters waiting on platforms with the sight of a jolly old Santa at the controls instead of a regular driver. However, most travellers didn't seem too keen to return Santa's greetings. Maybe the frustration of the train strike over the past 3 weeks has crushed the Christmas spirit. And indeed, this old Santa wasn't very impressed with the commuters' response.
Ho, 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 you said, look at what.
But finally, his efforts were rewarded by a smile and a wave. And he says he'll take to the tracks again next year, even if only a few appreciate his work. Jennifer Hansen, Eyewitness News.
And next in Eyewitness News, the...
Flemington. It was Hall's first mount after breaking his wrist 8 weeks ago, but halfway through the race, Hall was lucky not to have come off again when Cavalry stumbled and hit the running rail.
Former Riverina galloper My Day provided his first win for new trainer Lee Friedman when he led all the way to win the Mistletoe handicap. My Day in front, trying to peg it back, Lucky Q, and all of opposition flying home. My Day just in front, it wins a half-length, Lucky Q. Top jockey Greg Hall made a successful comeback in the following race on Cavalry, but not before an incident-packed race. Navy Mandalia. Cavalry just behind them, he almost went through the fence. Greg Hall, how he stayed in the saddle, I'll never know. He's lost about... Greg Hall and Cavalry recovered after their near tumble, and believe it or not, got up to win. Cavalry moved up on the outside of Civic Hope. Greg Hall going for home. Cavalry gets to the front, and what a run. Cavalry, a huge effort.
It was through no one's fault. He hit that crossing there. It's a little bit undulated and sort of lost stride there for a stride. And once they get on top of the fence, they find it hard to pull themselves straight off. And he put in a couple of awkward strides there and looked very iffy there for one stage. So to get up and win after all that is a mighty effort.
And the quadrella on numbers 6, 1, 5 and 2 paid $2,095.65. Quad extra was even better with $3,338.45 on 1, 5, double 2. The daily double on 1 and 2 paid $15.60 and the extra double $24.40 on 5 and 6. Australia's premier horse racing combination, trainer Colin Hayes and jockey Michael Clark, have decided to turn their back on the big bickies in Perth, preferring to feast on the crumbs here in Melbourne. On Saturday at the new Caulfield track, 4-year-old mare Shannon Bell races in the Hopetoun handicap. And while the horse is capable of better class, she's been set for what they believe will be a sure thing.
Shannon Bell was given a light workout at Flemington this morning. Gary Clark partnered the mare, but brother Michael will take over the reins at Caulfield on Saturday. Although not top class, Shannon Bell has quickly established herself as a very handy stayer. Her two latest wins, both at Sandown, were impressive, and she looms as nominal favourite in the $25,000 Hopetoun handicap.
Her form's excellent. She's been racing very consistently. Her last two wins have been very strong, and she beat Prince Kano, which, you know, is very good form.
It's a $25,000 race. It'll be a nice little Christmas bonus.
Yes, we'll buy a few Christmas presents then.
Speaking of Christmas, a fairly well-known fellow in a red suit made an appearance at track work this morning.
Merry Christmas.
Thank you.
This is Rudolph.
The VATC will get to test their new racing service at Caulfield for the first time on Saturday. The track today was in perfect condition, and it seems the heath is back to its best. The Caulfield racecourse hasn't been used since the Heavens opened on Caulfield Cup Day, and today the semaphore board still showed the heavy track reading from October 17. But barring no downpours, the track will be perfect for Saturday's Boxing Day program. Dan Mielicki, Eyewitness News.
Cycling's awesome foursome. The Australian...
Greg Hall was back in the saddle at Flemington this afternoon. Hall was forced to miss the Melbourne Cup Carnival after breaking his wrist at Moonee Valley on Cox Plate Day. But as Peter Donegan reports, a victory during his comeback appearance this afternoon provided Hall with some compensation.
Most people will remember Cox Plate Day of this year for the courage and the brilliance of champion 4-year-old Rubiton and his victory in the Weight for Age Championship of the land. But this is what Greg Hall will remember about that day. When he was dumped from the mare Ginger before the last, not only did he break his wrist, he lost many important rides in the forthcoming weeks.
I'm glad this microphone wasn't working, Pete, put it that way, but it was just, it wasn't the wrist at all, it was just the whole carnival and everything coming up. It was just going straight through my head. The minute, the split second it happened, all of that was going through my mind. I wasn't even worried about the wrist, because I knew that I was pretty sure it had broken.
Today, the outstanding hoop was back in the silks at Flemington, his return appearance being aboard Flying Crystal in the second. Will you feel a bit nervous, Greg, when you have your first ride?
No, I think I've got past that, Pete. I'm a little old for that now. I'm actually a little bit keen. I'm thinking back when I was an apprentice.
Unfortunately, the filly missed the start badly, ruining her chance, but under Greg's strong riding, she ran on to finish midfield. Still pleased to be back though, mate?
Yeah, I'm delighted anyway. The day's not over yet. I haven't given up yet, mate.
And that attitude was to pay dividends in the Father Christmas Handicap Race 5. Hall's Mount Cavalry copped a bad check at the 700, but his class shone through.
Cavalry raced up, grabbed Civic Hope from Roscoe Prince, and Cavalry gets up to win ahead on the post. A great performance.
Almost as important as the win was the fact that his left wrist passed its first serious test without any worries.
I don't feel it at all, actually, Pete. It's 100%, and I just wear that little support on it just for the first day anyway, and I'm very pleased with it.
And Cavalry at 6-1, scoring by a half neck from Civic Hope at 7-2, with the 200-1 shot, Roskill Prince in third place. Call Me the Breeze, the unplaced favourite, at 13-4. And Greg was attempting to bring up a double in the seventh event, the Yuletide Welter, aboard Historic, but it was the favourite Big Band which put up a huge performance. Here again is 3DB's Brian Martin.
Funds of Fortune battling on. Big Band back second last, 350 out. And Historic raced up with Bronze Order to take the lead from Lord Pake. Dynasty Prince still running to the back of them. And here's Big Band starting to fly down the outside. I don't know whether he'll get there in time. Historic in front, but Big Band are all over the top of them. Bronze Order kicking again, but Big Band has swamped them. Stardom Lane getting through, but Big Band a mighty performance. Big Band from last has won from Stardom Lane.
Yes, tremendous performance by Big Band, coming from second last at the 400 to win by a half length from Stardom Lane, with Historic a similar margin away in third place. The daily double at Flemington, the numbers 1 and 2 paying $15.60. The extra double 5 and 6 returning $24.40. The quadrilla 6, 1, 5 and 2, $2,095.65. And today's quad extra, the combination of 1, 5, 2 and 2, returned a dividend of $3,338.35 for tonight. Mark, that's all from the sports desk, or as Daffy Duck would say, dee-dee-dee-dee-dee-dee-dee. That's all, folks.
Sounds good, Pete. Excellent. Thanks very much. Now, there's something that, well, here I go now, Daffy Duck. Marianne will wrap the all-important...